here again today. I hope you enjoyed our little field trip yesterday we had over there on the water doing some boating, and hopefully you found it somewhat entertaining instead of just a kind of a normal video that we had in the past of me just sitting there talking to you. And today won't be that either. I talked to you yesterday a little bit about the quarantine 19, that phrase that Dr. Cooper coined, instead of the freshman 15, the quarantine 19, with all this abnormal eating and bad choices and stress eating and all these other things that we don't ordinarily do that helps us gain that extra poundage that we probably aren't going to want to carry for very long. So my goal today was to give you some tips on trying to prevent that from occurring, and if it has occurred, how to take those pounds off to get you back to where you're comfortable again and functioning where you wanted to be before all this social distancing and this COVID came on. So, one thing that came out of it was kind of cool with the COVID is getting us to think about life on a cellular level, because obviously many of you have gotten probably a different mindset about viruses, about health, about all those things, because they're cells, right? And when cells begin to dysfunction, then we have a lot of problems with that, okay? And so the COVID is actually a mutant. It's a virus cell, right? And we have viruses and bacteria around us all the time. Unfortunately, this one is the one that's been a little bit more mutated, and the bodies have been having a challenging time to build immunity to it. And that's where the controversy is coming in. But the reason I share that is because now it's made us think about our health a little differently. And if it hasn't, I hope that it does. Because it'll actually start to get you thinking and focusing on your body as a whole group of cells, actually trillions of cells. That's what comprises our body. Just like the foods that we eat and the things that we drink, they're comprised of cells. So if we're not giving our bodies what they require for it to replenish, repair, and remodel those cells, what are we doing? We're causing damage. We're not helping them rebuild and repair, making them vulnerable to being destroyed, and then having all kinds of symptoms surface, and the bad cells taking over. So the goal really is trying to get your mind thinking on a cellular level as opposed to a physical state what we see, because unfortunately people don't believe things they don't see. Well, you don't see the COVID virus, do you? You don't see those viruses on the handles that you're so afraid to touch. You don't see those viruses on, whatever it is that you're being exposed to in the air, right? But people are wearing masks. So I hope it opened your mind a little bit to seeing isn't necessarily required to believe, obviously, because you're believing it because we see all the fear out there. So the goal is to help you really kind of work on what's going on up here. And that leads me into our discussion about weight loss yesterday and following along with that theme of the quarantine 19. Weight loss is no different. It starts up here, okay? And I will give you some tips today and some suggestions on some products and some ways that I can help you, but it really has to start with you first. It has to start with your mindset. It really has to come down to you determining the reason why. Just like with the COVID and the quarantining stuff, it comes down to what's up here, okay? So what's your why with fear? What's your why with weight loss? And there's always kind of a visual or something that goes along with that prevents us from doing something or encourages us in doing something. And so with weight loss, my goal is trying to encourage you to focus on why do you want to lose the weight? What's the reason for the weight loss? The reason being is if you don't pay attention to your why, the how is going to be impossible and it won't be sustainable. Because in the short run, we can lose weight by doing all kinds of different diets, all kinds of different things for the short run. But are we doing it in a healthy way? That our body actually can sustain that for a long period of time and embracing that as a lifestyle change. Because our goal is to help you change your life. Not just to temporarily lose some pounds or numbers off the scale. That doesn't make any sense long term. So something that's sustainable, so it's a lifestyle change for you. So I'm really challenging you to think, why is it, if you do, maybe you don't want to lose weight, maybe you're just watching to be entertained, and hopefully I'm doing that for you. But if you truly want to lose weight, and there's a healthy reason why you want to lose weight, then that's where I'll engage in with conversation with you to help embark on the journey. And I'll be there along the way with you and give you tools and tips and advice and things like that. But I thought it'd be appropriate to really kind of challenge you today with you figuring out what is your why to doing what you want to do. Okay, in this particular case, we're talking about weight loss. And then visualize yourself already achieving that. What does it look like? What does it feel like? How do people around you see you? How do they perceive you? How do you perceive yourself? And when you start thinking that way, then the choices you make will be a lot easier for you. Because you start believing and start acting that way, you start becoming that. And when you start becoming that, those choices are a lot easier to make, and you can follow through, and then guess what happens? You get results. The results are, unfortunately, a lot of times the initial thing that gets us engaged, but once you reach the results, you'll set another goal. And you'll start progressing further. You'll start even making healthier choices just to be healthy once you've reached that number that you set out for yourself. Okay, so number one's the why. Number two, put a deadline, put a date on that. Okay, so maybe you start off and saying, giving yourself little goals along the way. Maybe saying, let's do this for today, then let's do this for 3 days, then 5 days, then 7, then 2 weeks, then 30 days, and setting those checkpoints along the way so you have those little wins along the way to build some momentum so you progress. Because everything has to be moving forward for you to stay engaged, to stay excited. And then journaling with that too. So you can check off yourself making and attaining those goals. So it's structured, okay? So as you're going through that process, we're making those small wins along the way and just keeps building momentum. And the next thing you know, you reach that goal and now you set a different goal. And all of a sudden, all this stuff up here changes because now you proved to yourself that you would follow through. Because many times we have these great goals and we don't follow through, and then our brain starts to not believe us. We'll get something, we'll start it, and we'll stop. Because we've lied to ourselves so many times. We didn't follow through so many times. So why is this going to be any different? That negative chatter goes on, that self-talk starts going on, and then takes you off course, and boom, you're done. You didn't attain the goal, and now you failed yourself again. Don't let that happen. So by putting this plan of action together, that'll prevent that from happening. So I thought instead of throwing a bunch of things at you and try to market and sell you all kinds of stuff for the short win, let's talk about how to set the stage for the longer, big, life-changing win, okay? So like I said yesterday, I promised you I would talk about some stuff, and you've watched some of my videos before, I'm sure, and if you have, you've seen some of these products that I suggested before. Two of the products that I like to use off the bat to help support some of the deficiencies you may have with eating the right foods is a powdered product. I like to offer products that are things that you can drink instead of swallowing pills or capsules, just to help you kind of, then the next step is eating the foods instead of just popping pills. So this is a greens product that has fruits and vegetables in there. This is actually berry flavored. I have a mint flavored one here too. If the taste is preferable. The mint's the original one. It's pretty calming for your stomach as well. But both these products are fruit and vegetables based. They're cold processed, so they're not devoid. The cells aren't destroyed. I pair that with a chocolate or a vanilla protein. These are the half-pound bags. We sell them in 3-pound bags as well. So then we can have a 30-day supply of the greens product with the protein, and we use it as support, so as a supplement, not a substitute. Okay, and those are just a real basic thing to add into your everyday nutritional intake. If you're not eating fruits and vegetables, you're not getting the proper protein as well. So it's real basic, simple to do that. They're a powdered drink, add it to your regular daily routine, okay? The next thing is really talking to you about breakfast. Because really, if you break it down, that means breaking the fast. So while you sleep at night, your body should be repairing and recovering, and you're actually fasting, okay? So the first foods or first things you put in your body, the cells you put in your body, are they helping the cells in your body to repair, replenish, and rebuild? All right, so think about that when you're going in to break the fast for breakfast. So actually pass that out. So breakfast doesn't have to necessarily mean in the morning. It can be late morning, afternoon, so you have that little period of time of fasting over a 12-hour period of time, whereas 12 or 16, like the intermittent fasting. Doing that a couple times a week is really beneficial for your cells to repair, give them a chance to heal and recover, okay? So think about that, the breakfast, breaking the fast, okay? And the last thing I want to talk about is the DNA testing for personalized nutrition. This company I've worked with here called Nutrigenomics, like I shared the other day on my personal video on Facebook, it goes through and really breaks down things for you as far as the vitamins and minerals, how your heart functions, talks about caffeine metabolism, whole grains, omega-3s, fat, things like that. Talks about lactose and gluten, some of the things that cause inflammation that promotes weight gain. Talks about some different things as far as motivation, as far as exercise and strength training, things like that. How your body is designed or predetermined genetically to respond, whether it's for cardiovascular or weight training, what you'd best respond to, give you some recommendations. And it's really nice and colorful, lays it out, pretty basic, understandable. It's a great reference, a great tool. And so this works really well in putting together a program for you. But like I said, if your why is not solid enough, all this stuff is short run. It's short term. That's not life changing. That's not a win for me. And it doesn't make any sense for me if we don't get any wins and no life changing experience for you. Okay? So like I have this behind me, I'd like to encourage you to eat healthy. If you aren't eating healthy, we'll give you some support with some supplementation. We get that basic and that information from some DNA testing. That's a good source, a good start. It's different than blood testing. It's a one and done. So your DNA never changes. So it gives us a baseline to build from. If you have to get more specific and checking into hormones, checking into cortisol levels, adrenals, sex hormones, things like that, we can do that too. But this is a simple saliva test, real easy. Start there, build from there. If we have to do more specific testing, we can go there, okay? Then obviously exercising daily. Want to exercise, move the body, get the hormones functioning, lymphatics draining, get the body working the way it's supposed to, okay? Thinking positively, like I said, envisioning yourself as your future self. What do you look like? What are you doing? How are you behaving? How are you acting? How are people seeing you? How's your family seeing you? What impact are you able to make for other people? How can you help somebody else with your personal experience? So the thinking part is really huge because it's laying down some new foundation for the stuff between the ears. Kind of talking about some of that neurology we talked about before. And the last thing, let's get you adjusted. What this means chiropractically is making sure the spine is functioning correctly. Make sure the nerve system is working the way it's supposed to. The brain and the body are talking the way it's supposed to, okay? So as a chiropractor, we always want to include that. Make sure you're getting adjusted so the nerve system's functioning 100%. Okay, so a little clip today. I told you I'd share some tools with you, but I'm not going to give it all to you because guess what? What makes a difference if I share everything with you and you go out there and do it in a short run? It's not a win. It's not a life change. So this is an opportunity to showcase a couple things with you and then encourage you when you're ready to contact me specifically, and I'll get in contact with you if we don't make a connection through a phone call immediately, and lay out a plan of action with you because we have to set that foundation first. But in the meantime, you can work on some of those things yourself. Putting your whys together, some of your visualization, put some goals together on paper, get some short wins, some short victories, and then let me come alongside you to help you out with the other stuff. So, as always, I encourage you to keep smiling. Right here. Let's get this stuff right, okay? Because if we get this stuff right, all this stuff will fall in line. Enjoy your weekend.